No. See you later. Hi. Thanks for everything. Remember my deal? Web fixed pricing tables in 3 days, and we get rid of your Toshiba and replace it with something good. Yep. I'll see you later. Thanks for everything. Hi, hi. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Did I plug in my top camera? No, I did not. We got some new toys here. Toys that I forgot to plug in. I cleaned up the entire front, hoping that it would make me feel a little bit less stressed. And it's working. Except I need a power cable. We're going to get started fixing some boards in just a moment. So we got a couple of really cool things going on here. So the first is that we are not going to have dropouts during the stream with internet ever again. As soon as Time Warner starts giving us packet loss, it's going to automatically switch over to T-Mobile LTE via pfSense. It's pfSense. I got a Core i5 machine as my pfSense machine, so I got something that's pretty powerful to do that type of job. So I have some expectations of power there. I'm going to really keep my desk as clean as possible. Now, the other thing is that my piece of shit, I got this Enermax Lictech thing, and a lot of people were wondering if the second version of that Enermax was as bad as the first version, if they had fixed it, because the pumps were failing and they were corroding and all that. And let me tell you, I'm not really sure how bad the first edition of it is, but the second edition did make it to about 3.5 to 5, around somewhere between 3.5 to 5 months, and it is now useless. So I'm getting idle temperatures at like 60 Celsius, 65 Celsius, when the CPU usage is like 1 to 3% in Task Manager, which is kind of lame. So I got a really nice water cooling loop. I probably spent more than I should have on this shit. It's a nice little custom thing to set up tomorrow, but it was like 380, somewhere around there. Some nice 360, some XS PC block. That's gonna be cool. I'm just tying the one wire that I forgot over here. I got my so I can actually stream in higher quality settings. I'm not sure if you'll notice it on YouTube or Twitch, but I know maybe on Vimeo. I'm not sure how they do maybe their live streaming is worse, maybe it's not. But the settings, I don't know if you notice, but the quality in general, I can do live streaming at some much more intensive settings if I'm able to keep the CPU cooler. And I'm trying them out right now. We'll see how that goes. That comes along. Okay, I'm just putting the top camera on. I also got myself a nice lens upgrade for the top camera that I'm gonna plug all this stuff in before we get started. Let's see how this stuff is. All right. See? Higher bit rate. Higher bit rate. Look at the quality of that. My broken electrical panel. My fake ass wall. Beautiful. All right, so check it out. Ready? I got my Stream Deck to work again. This is Stream Deck. So I can do stuff like this. Okay, so.
Label.
This is
Label. Label. Label.
all right. Let's check it out. I've been putting this off because I'm a cheapskate for at least a year now. But I got a nice So this lens up here, if I want to zoom in on something and show you, let's say, this fuck Apple RAM, by the way, which is still available on store.rossmangroup.com. Just saying. You want to help us? I'm doing a little yard sale here of all the items that I have in the store that are extra that I don't need. And one thing you may notice is that on the website, we do have 64 gigabytes of genuine fuck Apple RAM. This is fully functional RAM. I have mem tested this RAM to make sure that it works inside of an operating system, inside of a computer. Now, this old lens over here, right at this point, this is digital zoom. Digital zoom is, garbage, disgusting. So this thing over here, this is an SEL 18135. Check it out. This is awesome. So this lens goes all the way up to 135 millimeters, so it's got a lot more zoom to it. So let's open this thing up. All right. This was supposed to come with some sort of lens cover, lens cap. I don't know if I actually... Damn it. I know I bought it with a lens cap. I don't know where it went. Hi just left too. Shizzle. Alright, so this thing is cool. Look at this. BMH loves you on that shopping spree for all this stuff. I got all this stuff on Amazon. Because I have to stop giving money to Bezos. Alright, so I think this thing goes on like this. Is this it? No. Is that it? Yeah. Alright, so we're going to get lens. Thank you very much, Landa, by the way. Now, where's the rest of the shit that I bought? Bought some other cool stuff in here. Bafang thing. HDMI cable. UV protective film. Here we go. Okay, so got my lens. Why do the text on the page say Apple when the stick has Apple? Well, it's alternating, my friend. So some are fuck Apple APPL, because I was spelling it until I realized it's 8 dims, not 9. And the others are fuck AAPL. So you actually get a combination of both. So it's like it's kind of like 2T versus 1T. 2 sticks are going to be fuck APPL. The other 2 sticks are going to be fuck AAPL. All right. Sound like you have the measles. Yes, I have had a harsh week, lots of work, some health issues, but otherwise, I spent 14 hours in a row trying to fix the damn store PBX. Lots of time on the phone with Time Warner. I also spent the whole day cleaning the desk. It's been... We're going to make this place nice. And, okay, so this is going to go on top of here to keep this lens from getting fucked up, because I know I'm going to mess things up. If this winds up being a good lens, then I'm going to probably wind up using the same lens when I install the second camera into Steve's data recovery workbench. So Steve is getting a new camera installed in his data recovery bench. Okay. Let's see how this shit works. Do we have autofocus, manual focus? All right. Oh, dude. Wow. Fucking wow. Look at that zoom. Is that not worth $500 right there? Damn. Maybe it's not. I'm just telling myself that because I spent $500 on a curved piece of glass so that you could see the desk slightly better. But consumerism at its best. Let's see what we got. That is sexy zoom, man. Look at that. No digital zoom. No Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. That's worth it. Oh, my. So now I'm going to when I want to show you something, but I don't want to go into the microscope just yet, but I don't want to deal with like digital zoom and having to lift crap up or move the camera. I can zoom all the way in on something and it looks nice. To be clear, somebody asked, I am not sponsored by Sony, B&H. I do get money if you click on the Amazon links down below, but I get paid if you buy anything after you click the link. You can click my link and say, I don't want to buy this shit, and buy dog foods. So that is, but I don't, but point is, I'm not getting, I paid for this out of pocket, and I'm not getting paid by Sony if you buy one of these or anything. especially. But this is pretty cool. This is sexy. So, should I put this on? Is there a point to this? Like, what is this thing for? Does anybody know what this is for? Because I don't know jack shit about cameras. So this is the focus. Oh, this is such a sexy lens. I love it. I've wanted one of these for so long, and I never put the money in for it. So what is this thing? Do I put this on? Is this... I guess I should put it on. It makes it look more cooler. It makes it look like an attack lens. There we go. Attack lens. Okay, this is the kit lens that came with it. Kit lens. Kit lens. Did I really say lens? Anyway, by the way, folks, this is limited edition. You want to help fund Lewis's upgrades. If you want to help fund Lewis's upgrades, come today and get your fuck Apple RAM. 64 gigabytes of DDR4, baby. Signed. What else is next? So I got this. This is the UV filter. Don't need this shit. This is a manual on how to use a lens. Oh my, never gonna use that crap. I suppose I will keep this little lens cover up here, and I will actually put it on at the end of the streams rather than just leaving it there. It's a Brockout Stray lighting. Awesome. Now the next thing I gotta put on is I have a light. I got one for Steve's workbench, and I also got one for my workbench. So this is supposed to mount onto the camera somehow. Oh, Jesus. Ever unlock an iCloud phone with the receipt method? I don't unlock iCloud because I don't deal with customers that steal shit. I don't deal with customers that steal. I don't know what to say. Like, you know, if somebody comes to me and said, "Hi, can you help me with this phone?" It's iCloud locked. I say, give it, you know, you're supposed to stick the knife into the individual you're stealing the phone from after you get them to unlock it, not before. You're clearly not a very intelligent thief. Okay, how the fuck does this thing hook on? I have no... Thank you, TCRS. I appreciate that. I have to figure out how this thing hooks onto here. So, let's see. I have no idea how this shit hooks onto here. Let me turn face focus off. Focus on this. Focus on the sheep. Alright, so let's see. Oh, there's little buttons in the side that you hit. And then it goes like here. Huh. Here. I feel stupid. Damn it. Duct tape time, maybe? The voice... Love that response. You are a great man. Thank you. Thank you. Would you recommend the G7 solely on the speaker audio? No. The G7 is... here's the thing. So I have a G7, and the audio that comes out of it, if you're talking about the inbuilt speaker, is way worse than a Moto G, which is fucking pathetic. I was hoping that it would be an upgrade over my Samsung S7, because my Samsung S7 has abominable audio, at least out of the speaker, like most phones do. The Moto G has... It doesn't come out of the bottom. It comes out of the earpiece itself. So the Moto G actually has a really good, loud, full-sounding speaker. The Samsung S7 and the LG G7 that I have, the speakers suck. And it's sad, because they cost so much more money. So how the F... Remove the filter first, Lewis. Ah, okay. So remove this thing. I don't think this is going to fit on over that. But I suppose I can try. Triple R donated 5. Thank you. Okay, so this goes here. But how do you click in? Yeah, there's nothing to keep this on there, actually. It doesn't seem like it. I don't think this fits. I got the wrong shit. I bought the wrong thing. Alright, so if anybody can give me an idea of a ring light I can get for a Sony A5100 camera, I would like a ring light that I can attach to this. This thing sucks. I was kind of hoping I have something on here, but... yeah, this ain't gonna do anything. I need to put the long screw in the short hole. I did not think this through. Crap. Okay, glue that shit, someone says. What if I put this over the... What if I put the lens on after this? Let's try that. Okay, so what if I take the lens, like so, I shove this here. Yeah, this'll do. This is totally not a bad idea. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, just shove that over. Bam. Bada fucking bing. Okay, now this is for a cold shoe. This is for a hot shoe mount. I don't have a hot shoe mount. Wait a second. My other Sony camera has a hot shoe mount, doesn't it? How the fuck does this thing work? Do you take batteries or what? Yeah, we go. We got that. We're gonna have better lighting, better video everywhere. Yeah, we're gonna taking shit to the next level. Okay. Yeah, Sony A5100 is not gonna have a shoe. Okay. Okay, put this on here. And wait now. Excuse me. What diameter is the lens in the ring light? I have no idea. That's a good question. It's actually an excellent question. Okay, now this thing. So this... Hey. Enjoy your Friday night. You look slick in all black.
Straight to bed. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thursday is priority enough. Besides, it's Easter weekend.
Indeed.
All right, I'll be seeing you Monday.
See you later. That screw just fell and landed around my crotch, and these new pants that I got were sticking out around that area. So it caught the screw. That was amazing. All right, so what do you require? Just you could leave it open. That's fine. Hopefully no creeps walk in. Bought myself a microscope with your link. Can't wait to receive it. Thank you very much. Okay. By the way, anybody tell me what you think of the video quality on Vimeo once I start streaming like microscope photos and all that. Okay, so you have a battery that has to be charged. Shit. So how do you charge this thing? No way in fuck. You're telling me I have to charge this by plugging it into a hot shoe mount? Okay, let's see. Maybe it comes with something in the box. Alright, we have this thing. This looks like the claw. Anybody read that blog post about the date with Aziz Ansari? See this over here? This is the claw. This is Aziz Ansari claw. Don't Google that if you're about to eat or something. Okay, we have all these little things in here. More adapters, more adapters, more effing adapters. Paul will make sense of that tomorrow. Make this look nice. We have diffusers. Okay, so it looks like this is supposed to attach to the hot shoe mount of a camera. The problem is this is not a hot shoe camera. So I'm going to have to figure out what voltage this is and then run my own power supply. So can anybody tell me what the hot shoe voltage is of a camera while I screw this back in? Unfortunately, I don't have Google Glass or anything. I can't Google and do this at the same time. So what voltage do I need to send to this thing to make it work? Because I have an adjustable adapter. 12 volts. 5 volts or 12 volts? Alright, we'll figure it out. I'm sure if it wants 5 volts instead of 12, if I send it 12, I'm sure there's a buck regulator in there that'll happily lower it to 5 instead of blow it up. Yeah, because I have an AC adapter that I can plug this shit into. I am putting the long screw in the wrong hole. Luckily, this is not a MacBook. If this was a MacBook, it would be screaming right now. Screaming right now in little MacBook pain. You're long screwing me! Stop it! Stop it! Yeah, I am long screwing it. Fuck. Oh my god. I am not buying a hot shoe camera to make this work. Fuck that. I have enough power supplies in the shop. Okay. I can't believe there's many people watching me hook up a lighting setup. I have one of those. I have a little power supply that allows you to adjust the voltage with a little switch on it. So we're going to try all the voltages and see what works. Here we go. I can't believe I put the long screw in the short fucking hole. I mean, like, look at this. Look, can you see that? Focus, focus, focus. Seriously, you're not gonna focus on this. Stop focusing on the wall. Stop focusing. You piece of shit. Oh well. It's not like I need zoom in evidence of that anyway. Lewis doesn't know how to use a screwdriver. The guy who criticizes you for not being able to use a screwdriver also cannot use a screwdriver. By the way, if you have ideas on how to improve the stream, HiHi is now a paid employee, and if HiHi fixes the price list on my website the way I told him, we're going to be replacing his Toshiba Pentium laptop with a better laptop. So he has 3 days for that. And if you have any ideas on how to improve the stream, you can email HiHi at hihi@rossmangroup.com. He is now an official stream assistant. So we have hired a full-time stream assistant. I mean, not full-time, a part-time stream assistant. And someone says no stream in Vimeo. Oh, well. Let's see. What is Vimeo doing? What are you doing, Vimeo? Are you effed up? Is it mad that I'm using too high a bitrate, perhaps? No, it does work. You guys are just trolling the shit out of me. That's not very nice of you. Okay. Okay, so we screwed this back together. Now we are... okay. Now for the more important question. So which of these is ground and which of these is power? Is this ground and that power, or this power and that ground? Because one of them is bent and one of them is straight. So I'm going to go get one of those power supplies. I should have one or two of them in the back. Just lock the door so no fucking creeps walk in and steal my shit while I'm in the back of the store. And I'm going to find a power supply. Locking the door. Keep the creepers out. Keep the MacBooks in. Okay. Let's find myself a power supply. Where's my variable power supply? Alright, so hopefully one of you guys can tell me which one of those is the hot, which one of those is the cold, so don't blow the shit up. Also, keep the desk from getting too messy as I go. I see that Aziz Ansari's claw is on my desk. The claw will go back. Aziz Ansari, don't delay. Date somebody who doesn't use the claw on you today. For all the single ladies out there, I will not claw. I no claw. So, hot shoe is usually momentary contact that triggers strobe, not source of power. What? That's not an answer. Okay. Fine. I'll figure it out myself. I'll figure it out. Fine. Fuck it. You win. I figure it out myself. Put this over here. Okay. Let's turn on my power supply, which I did not plug in. Great. I knew I forgot to... This is what happens when you clean your desk. I cleaned my desk. Thought I made everything neater. Really, man, it's so much neater now that half of the things are plugged in that were plugged in before. Of course, it's neater because nothing's... Whew. Alright. I hope I don't blow... Yeah, I don't want to destroy this thing because that's a battery, not just a light. If it was a light, I wouldn't really care as much, but I think it goes through a battery first. Okay, power supply is plugged in. And I also have made a rule, every time I add a cable to the desk, I have to tie it up immediately. Even if I'm in the middle of a stream, I'm hoping that that helps reduce the mess that I'm very prone to having with everything I do. Give that poor man a handkerchief. I usually wait until I'm off stream to masturbate, but I appreciate your concern. Let's see. So, which one of these, last time I tried before I just blow it up out of impatience, which one of these is the hot and which one of these is the cold? I'm going to guess that the straight is ground and the not straight is power. So we're going to think like activists. Power to the not straight. No homophobia in my store. All right, here we go. Let's see. Power to... Damn it, it doesn't want to stick. This is going to be a pain in the ass. Piece of shit. Yeah, this is... I'm just going to wind up powering this. I'm just going to wind up plugging it into... Okay, first lower the voltage. We're going to lower you to like 3.7, 3.1 for the beginning. These are also so close together, the banana kits are not really going to work well. Okay. So let's try 3.8 volts. Like the video so we can buy some chicken soup. I'll get myself some soup. All right. Derek has posted a photo. Let's see. What is that photo? Load, Time Warner, load. Oh. Restream shortened the URL so it doesn't work. Shit. Yeah, Restream does this. See? I don't have the full link. Okay, so we'll figure it out. I see there's a lot of stuff in the chat besides which one of these is the right one. Okay. You and you. I'm tempted to just solder this shit on first and ask questions later. Okay, let's try 6 volts. 6. Even at 6.5 volts, it doesn't do anything. Perhaps I got this wrong. Maybe you're the ground, and you're the positive. Damn it, this is way fuck it, I'll just Google it. Okay. I give up. I was hoping to avoid you watching me Google, because that's kind of boring. But I suppose it's also boring to watch somebody set up their camera system. Okay. Hot shoe mount. Which pin ground? Images. Let's see. That does not look like mine. Which one is which? Yeah, this doesn't look... I'm looking on this end, so it's hard to tell which is which. Big contact in the middle, X sync in your second image. To trigger the flash, the camera shorts this to ground, the sides of the what? I just want to know which one's positive and negative. My head hurts. Hot shoe pinout. I want to see it. I want to find a picture from the accessory side, not the camera side. There we go. What's this? Load. Okay. This doesn't look the same because this over here, see, it's got, they're both one on top of the other, whereas in the picture, you have like this is bottom to the left and bottom to the right. The pins are flash fire, not power. Oh, shit. Okay, so where's power? How the F do you turn this thing on? Okay, this is interesting, because now I genuinely have no idea how this shit turns on. Perhaps I should read the manual. I will read RTFM. Where's the manual? You don't come with a manual, do you? Power 4 XAA battery. Okay, fuck it. We're going to open this thing up and figure it out from there. Let's take this thing off of the camera since it's stuck on the body. Open and go from there. Yeah, I thought it's by power. I'm a noob. Okay. You could have just gotten a clip-on desk lamp for $5. Yeah, but I wanted the light source to be coming directly from the camera, because from my experience, it looks better. Also, this way it would be above the desk, so instead of being down here, it will be up there. And this is a tidy space. Okay, so we have this wiring going out here. Now, this is the batteries. Is this a casing for putting batteries in there? Aha! Oh, you're supposed to actually put real batteries in here. Oh, fuck that. I'm not putting batteries in there. Okay. So we're going to get rid of this shit and solder in our own 6 volts. So I believe 4 AA's in series is going to be 6 volts. So I'm doing 1.5 times 4. I think even I can manage to do that in my head without screwing it up. Alright, so this, we don't need this shit. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, so we... Okay, so... Now this thing over here, I can set this to 6 volts. I'm just bragging. Look at that. Look at that zoom. Look at that. That no digital zoom. Oh my god, it's beautiful. The Sony is not smart enough to read the millimeter number from here, so I can't see exactly how far zoomed in this is. The other lens, it would report back to the camera how zoomed in it was. But who cares? This is effing beautiful. Seems to be locked. Let me find a flathead that I can... Okay. I have to get up to get a flathead, so we're just going to dig the tweezers in a little harder. 5 volts, 6 volts. Yeah, I have to turn the squelch on the microphone. I don't know why. Anytime if I drop my wireless transmitter, if I drop it, and when I go to pick it up, I mean, when I turn it off, it turns on again with that screeching noise. Very annoying. Very annoying. I think I have to configure squelch on the receiver. Alright, so these wires can go away. We don't need you. Or you. We're just going to have this be 6 volts. Constant 6. Cut the excess off. Yeah, this is a really nice lens. Will vibrate at 60 hertz. We'll see. Hopefully not. Okay. Excuse me. I feel like shit. Obligatory contribution to the Blackberry Treat Fund. Thank you. I'm actually going to potentially, if I remember, do a video tonight of feeding her some treats. For anybody who's a Blackberry fan. That's some pretty awful soldering I just did there. Yeah, it's pretty bad even by my standards. This wire does not need to be that far back. Let's put the transmitter on the desk. I'll adjust the auto zoom later. By I mean our stream assistant, Hi. Available at hi.rossmangroup.com. Don't delay. Email him your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns about the stream today. Hopefully this reaches. That's fine. Okay. Should I bother closing this? if Amazon has anything now, is anything now like it was in 2012 when I was selling products on Amazon, you would actually be able to return this without any problem at all. And if the seller, if the were to make a complaint, it would be counted against their record. I did a video a while back titled, let's see, it was, yeah, this video over here is an
A lot of
old,
people ask, why did I stop selling?
yeah, this video is a video that I did on selling on Amazon, and if anything has, if it's the same now as it was back then, I'm fully 110% confident that I could actually still send that back to Amazon. And the seller would get a point against their record because, look, you sold something and they sent it back saying it didn't work. It must be something you did. That's one of the reasons why I will link people to Amazon if they wish to purchase something on Amazon. But I am never going to tell somebody that they should be a seller on Amazon. Because being a seller on Amazon is a nightmare. So if Amazon wants to lose money by fulfilling their own orders under this ridiculous system where anybody can return whatever they want, if Amazon wants to deal with that, you want to try to make that work, that's cool. You do you. But I'm not going to suggest that my own viewers try to sell on Amazon and lose money. Okay, so now let's see if this cable is long enough to be nicely routed. Plug this in under the desk. It is at 6 volts, which I believe is going to be good enough. Okay. It barely reaches, but that's fine. I just got to zip tie it to the tripod so that I can set it. I'm going to get myself some zip ties. I'll be right back. I hope I have some left still. Not the... Okay, let's get some twist ties up here. Ah, whoa. Dude, that's blasting. Light on or off. Mode. Flash. LR. What's L and R? Oh. What does the LR mean? Is flash L and R? I guess Lewis, that's my initials maybe. Lewis and Rossman. What is L and R? I don't understand what that is. Mode? What about pilot? No clue what that does. Mode R. Okay, R is going to be the right side probably. So I hit pilot when it's an L or R, and then it does a reflash. Set. Not flash. Light. How are we just going to use this in light mode? Now, what is the set button? Did you lose weight? I've lost about 10 pounds in the last... about 10 to 12 pounds in the last 2.5 weeks. Since I stopped taking some shit drug that I should not have been taking. Well, it was doing help until it wasn't doing help anymore. The upside is losing weight. The downside is the not having treatment for the thing I was taking it for. And withdrawal. Withdrawal is awesome. So this is set. We just got to hang this thing up professionally. Someone says, go get some rest. You sound horrible. Oh, you should hear me try to cover Tori Amos. You think this sounds horrible. Okay, so we get... now this is going to go back over our lens. So not only do we have a better lens, but we also have much better lighting up here, which means I can use a lower ISO, which means at the same bit rate, if I'm streaming, you will be able to see more detail, which makes it more better. And cool. So this is going to go here. This has, I suppose I can rest this shit around this. Yeah. Uh-oh. Things are falling at me. My desk is attacking me. This space is so tiny. Okay. What a dump of a store. It's effing attacking me. Okay. So we take twist eye. And I will put the light thing down here so that I can set it and see it from my monitor. Maybe over here. See. How are we going to make you stay? Maybe like this. Yeah, this is professional. Let's hang it by the wire. Yeah, that's strain relief, bro. Professional. Professional. Yeah, that's how you do it. Linus, Marks Brownlee. You fuckers jealous? You jealous? Yeah. Best tech channel on YouTube right here. Best filming. And for the technicians out there, yes, I am using the wires that are carrying electricity as strain relief. So the wires are getting all the pressure, and that's where the strain relief is. This is as professional as it gets. Yeah. Look at that. Are you cringing? Are you cringing? I'm cringing, and I'm even by my standards. All right, that's awesome. So now when I'm sitting down, can I adjust this shit? Let's see. Right here. Okay, desk. Throw this out. Put my zip ties over here. I'm going to need them to wipe up those cables later. Put my screwdriver there. Wire cutters here. Fuck Apple RAM. Okay, light off. Let's see. So we zoom. What happens if I turn this light on? Alright, it's a subtle difference. Yeah, so now, it was only $40 for this thing. Like 40 or $50, but now I can record at a lower ISO. Lower ISO means more better. So it means at a lower bit rate you will get less. You can get the same amount of grain at a lower bit rate, or less grain at the same bit rate. Either way, pretty cool stuff. ISO auto. Let's see what. What if I put the light all the way up? No, what am I doing here? Oh, why is my f-stop set so sillily? Let's see, movie, manual, program, auto. Okay, we can just have the camera reset all this shit manually. Much better. So if I turn the light all the way up, the camera will choose the ISO. That makes... Damn. Look at that. Even zoomed really far in, you still get a pretty sweet image. And there's not a lot of grain or noise because the lighting is all the way up. That is sweet. Very nice. Actually has quite a bit of reflections. Ah, the diffusers. Yeah, it came with diffusers. I didn't put one on. Excuse me. No, you can't control the light temperature. I wish. You're asking a little too much there, my friend. How do you take these damn things off? Greetings from my cat, Gino. He watches with me. Hi, Gino. You're a good kitty. Sony Land. Okay. What AC power adapter for Steve's camera. Shit. Tiny space. Everything falls over. Okay. Next on the list. Where'd my... Here we go. So for the commentary microphone, that's my Sennheiser over here. For this one, since we have other people doing streaming, we got a nicer head. This is a Sennheiser 865. I'll see how this thing sounds at a later date. But I think maybe. It's actually gotten warmer outside, so perhaps not. Can you... Hello, Gino. Who's a good little Gino? Who's a good kitty? Okay, so this is a different capsule. It's an E865, upgrade from E835. So now we have a nicer sounding microphone for the second person. So one person is going to be using the DPA 4066, and then when I do data recovery videos with Steve, if I'm answering chat questions or we're just going over stuff, if there's a second person, now we got a much better quality wireless mic for the individual doing that. I got this little mic stand here for it, and this is my old capsule, which I will be saving. I got a 75-foot fiber HDMI cable to go from Steve's desk to mine. So this is pretty cool. So hopefully the quality of video won't go down just because I have a long HDMI cord. This is a really fancy schmancy looking HDMI cord. It costs more money, which is how you know, as AVE would say, that it's more betterer. I usually said more betterer, but apparently in Canada they say more betterer, because more betterer is more accurater. Anyway, by the way, if anybody would like to help fund all these upgrades, We do have Fuck Apple RAM available on store.rossmangroup.com. Just saying. Apple sucks indeed, Nicole, indeed. So check out that Fuck Apple RAM. That RAM is fully functional and mem tested. That is some genuine Fuck Apple RAM right there. Gimpy says hi. She's laying on my desk watching. Why, hello, Gimpy. Okay, tomorrow we will install the proper cooler on the Threadripper so that I don't have to run it at freaking 3,000 RPM all the time just to keep it from burning. I imagine I only have a few days left of Threadripper cooler since I got that Enermax piece of crap. Alright, so I think I got that stuff done for my desk. Now we're going to move on. Do keep in mind, this RAM will not work in a MacBook. Please do not make the mistake of confusing Fuck Apple RAM with Apple RAM. I have to re-sign those ones up there. Okay. You know there's a mountain ring adapter in the kit. They thread into the lens or... Oh, shit. That would be, let me see. They thread into the ends of the lens of the filter you're using, and the ring clips into that. All right, I'll take a look at that before I finish. Because I probably set this thing up like I set this thing up like an idiot. Okay, which one of these is going to be for my lens? Let's see. So this is around the same size as the other lens. This says 40.5. Let's see if any of these fit that. No. No, 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 no. I don't know what those are, Melamine, but I didn't get that because I got this. And if I got that, then somebody would go, why didn't I get this? There's always a, why didn't you get something else? Okay. Justin says Lewis invited you to LTX 2019. Where has he invited me? I have not... What did I miss? Click to enable Flash in 2019. Yeah, Enermax is trash. He just invited you on WAN show. All right, I gotta check that out later. Thank you very much to Linus. Eli's gonna be mad if I go to that show. Wow. Okay, put the old shit lens on for a moment. Ah, come on. Get in there, you fuck. Fuck this. Definitely not you. Not you. Not you. You. There's no way to put this in there now, is there? Oh, wait, yes, there is. Okay, the UV filter goes on first, then this shit afterwards. Okay. UV, then you, then light. Okay, maybe light. Okay, let's try this. Huh. Okay. Come on. Go, go. All right. Okay. Light is here. Okay, that's better. Now it's at the ends of the lens. That's going to be a much better result. Yeah, let's see. Thank you to the person who pointed out that I was putting this on, mounting this like an idiot. I hope none of you continue to think that I'm more intelligent than I actually am. The more you watch this channel, the more you'll figure out I'm pretty stupid. Okay, so that's a good thing. If I'm dumb, that means that you don't have to be smart to do what I do. Okay, take off the diffuser. What does the yellow one make it look like? Hmm. Should I use the yellow one or the white one? Yellow. Let's see. White. Yellow. White. Also, is this on auto white balance? I think that. Come on. Where the hell is white balance? AF try white balance auto. Okay, so white. Nah. I think this is actually better without this stupid light there. But I spent money on it now, so my brain is going to tell me that it looks better with the light, even though it clearly doesn't look better with the light, because I spent money on it, and that's kind of the way the brain works. Like, it's going to... I feel like an audiophile that just spent $10,000 on speaker cables. Except this thing was only 40 bucks, so... Okay. Oh yeah, this thing doesn't have to go on anymore because that won't fit. Because I got the light. It's fine. So I use lamp cord. Okay. The microphone I'm not going to be able to test out till tomorrow because I don't have somebody else to speak to here. White looks more natural. Yeah, I agree. Alright, so we're going to get started fixing some MacBooks. The new setup. I'm really happy. This table looks nice and clean. White looks more natural. Thank you. Linus said invite you to LTX. Thank you very much to Linus. I do not have the same beef with him that Eli has. You know what's interesting is I could be being a dick, but I'm potentially being a dick. I'm often a dick. I really felt bad about the first video that I did on Linus afterwards because I watched it, and here's what I was doing. It's one of these things that I think a lot of people who are going to get to using YouTube more often, who are social weirdos like me, are going to have happen to them. Let's make that camera straight. Nah, it's not straight. Which is, so I was noticing like certain videos got certain reactions. People would like certain stuff more. So I figured I'm going to do this video the way that I think it will come across best. Let me just experiment. So it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm agitated at something that's somewhat unrelated to Linus's video when it came to the GPU reflowing thing. And I did that video, and I watched it and I uploaded it before I actually watched it, which is something you shouldn't do, is upload a video without actually watching it. And then when I watched it the next day, I realized that in spite of the fact that I think I made my point, that I came off like a complete fucking idiot. Like really just... Because there were ways to say that where people would kind of understand what I'm getting at, and then there were ways to say it where just nobody gives a shit at all what you said because you look like such a fucking idiot. And yeah, it was kind of a stupid effing video. That reflowing one. Anyway, but Eli has been, I did one video where I was saying, I'm not the biggest fan of this thing that he said, and why are you doing this? You have a large following. Please don't let people think that this is how things get fixed. I get enough things that have been through ovens that should not have been through ovens. But that Eli just it's been 4.5 weeks since Linus did something with Carrie Holzman, or the way he reacted to it. That was a very strange situation. Carrie, to me, he seems like a bit of a 50-year-old child. Linus was being a bit of a... And he kind of responded as if he was being personally destroyed by somebody who was actively trying to destroy him, which is obviously not the fucking case. Like, Linus even notices that dude exists. And then Linus responded with saying something like, this is drama, when his setup at his company wound up copyright striking somebody else. And I could understand where Eli's point is, but it's been like a month and a half since that happened. And Eli is still saying fuck Linus on every single stream. Every single stream. Damn. I thought I'm bad at letting things go. Like I remember there was this one thing that this I think was Bradley Wallace. I forget the exact guy's name. I don't even remember what the deal was, to be honest with you. But there was something that he said in an email in 2011 that was where he sounded like a dick. And 8 years later, when Tim Herman fixes a board that came from that dude's place, I think a PowerBookmatic or something, that makes them look like idiots that can't even reball a chip. I posted that and I thought, you know what? I think that's a little petty. I think Linus is not 50. No, he's not. Carrie is. Are you listening? Is anybody even paying attention? Anyway, and I'm thinking, when I posted that video, I thought, am I being a little like, am I holding a grudge a little too long here? Like I know the guy from PowerBookmatic said something to me in a kind of dickish fashion 8 years ago, and I don't even remember what it was at that point. But then I posted a video where an 18-year-old is beating them at board repair, and I still think that's a little less petty than Eli was being with the F Linus thing every single stream. Okay, anyway, this is pointless. I just cleaned my desk. You know what? I think I may go to LTX. I will go to LTX if the individual that got me this decides that they will come with me. See this over here? So, let's start recording because we have a board to fix. Get audio in sync. Linus invited me to LTX. Thank you very much. Maybe it'll be a way for the cactus, myself, and the owner of this cactus to take a little vacation. A well-needed vacation. A very effing well-needed vacation, might I say. Okay, so I have changed. For those of you just watching the recording who have not watched the stream, I've upgraded a bunch of stuff over here. Got some better lighting. We got some better video encoding. And we've got some better streaming settings. You can check it out on Vimeo. This video is going to look a lot better than the other ones did, especially if you watch it on Vimeo. Got myself an better light for the overhead camera. I got myself a nicer lens for the overhead. So we're going to open up this machine and see if we can figure out why this MacBook doesn't work. So let's get started by opening up this MacBook. Now, shall we? MacBook that needs to be fixed. All right. This says liquid damage, no power. I'm going to open this up on my desk cam. I'm going to grab myself a magnet, a screwdriver, a drive screwer, screwer. I think that's going to be my nickname for Steve, now that he's doing all the lab data recovery here. I'm going to call him Steve the drive screwer. Okay, it's going to be a lot easier for me to stream more often now since this desk is perfectly set up exactly the way I want it. Got my space. It's beautiful. It's the chip. Alina does stuff. No reflowing. F the reflowing. No reflowing. Don't reflow. Stop with the reflow. Excuse me. Not feeling too well today. All right. No, I don't actually... Oh, let's see. I'm going to take the board out of here and see why this thing's not turning on. Let's see. If I hit the power button, not turning on. Yeah. I am trying to up my YouTube game here. Zoink. Oh, this lens in the light is so heavy that I have to tighten that bolt every time I use it now. Oh, well. Focus. This thing actually looks better without the light. Wait a sec. Oh, why? I shouldn't be using this thing on auto. Okay, now I see what's going on. It's changing the exposure down to like 115. Okay, exposure. Stay. Okay, stop that. Why are we at ISO 3200? Jesus Christ. No wonder this shit's... Auto ISO on this camera is trash. No wonder it looks funny with the light on. Better. That is ISO 500, f-stop 5.6, 160 exposure. Also, this is crazy. I'm streaming at 15 megabit per second, and it's actually working. This never works. I never... Maybe this new modem is still Puma based. It's still some piece of shit Puma, but Puma 6. But it's actually allowing me to stream it. Dare I say it? Close to what I pay for. Close to the... I spoke too soon. I think I said that a little too fast. I just complimented the modem. I said that it's maybe the Puma 6, since this new Puma 6 modem I got is not as bad as the old Puma 6 modem. As I said that, like the words were coming out of my mouth, it crashed. That's pretty funny. You can't make that stuff up. You can't make stuff like that up. That was hysterical. Did I not just say out loud that this was... you heard me. I just said that maybe this Puma modem is doing a good job. I just said it. I was trying to be nice to you, little Puma. Never be nice to something from Time Warner. Okay. We're going to put this aside. We're going to up the voltage on here to 18.5. Now, I do believe all I have on my desk is a MagSafe 2. I'm going to kind of try to align this. Uh-oh. Do you line up, little MagSafe? I'm going to have to get a proper camera mount at some point as well. Something that goes into the wall. This thing attached to the desk shakes too much. That was rude. He didn't say goodbye. Who's saying goodbye? Okay, let's see if PP3V42 is present. No. 16 volts. Yes. PP3V42 0. So we have voltage coming in from the charger over here, but we have nothing on PP3V42. As you know, if you watch any of my videos on how the one-wire circuit works, which I highly suggest you do at vimeo.com/RossmanGroup, you'll see that we need PP3V42 to come on as our first power rail. PP3V42 is going to power the system management controller, which is going to speak to the charger and tell it to give us a green light, and it's also going to power this chip over here and this chip over here, which are going to allow the charger to speak to the SMC and give us a green light. I'm going to open up a schematic to the 820-3115 and Paul Daniels' software. Paul Daniels puts in a lot of work, a lot of overtime to ensure that the software that I use is excellent, quality, and bug-free. People like Paul Daniels are what make this industry great. People who are willing to just give away free information or put in effort to help others make things work again that otherwise wouldn't. I highly suggest you check out Paul Daniels' channel at 19PLD73. That's youtube.com/19PLD73. Don't delay. Check out Paul Daniels, a true scholar and gentleman, today. So this here is our charger. You have adapter sense. Adapter sense is a line that comes in from the charge port. This is where the charge port plugs in. See? Charge port. Now, that is going to have to talk to the SMC on this sys1 wire line. So that's the SMC. But in order for this little chip over here to get power, U6900 needs to get its power from the VCC pin, which comes from U6901. U6901's power comes from PP3V42_G3hot. So PP3V_G3hot has to be present, and it's not. So the first thing we're going to do is see if we're going to have a short to ground on PP3V42_G3hot, because if we do, then it's not going to be working properly. So we're going to unplug the charger over here. Turn the multimeter into resistance mode. And see what our resistance is. As you can see here, we have a resistance to ground of 3.1 ohms. Now we're going to look through the board to try and figure out where our short circuit could possibly be on this board. And while we're looking through the board to see where the short circuit could possibly be, we're going to see if we can find anything that looks nasty. Before I wind up injecting voltage into the board or driving myself nuts in order to figure out exactly what is short-circuited, injecting heat into it, using a thermal camera, any of that, I'd like to use my good old eyes to see if it finds anything and see what we get. So I'm going to get my microscope light on, which fell off of the desk over here. Let's do that. Bada bing. Bada boom. Bada boom bing. Bada bing boom. Buddha bada bing. Bada bing boom. All right, let's get my microscope camera looking sexy. Okay, so first we're going to get it in focus for me, and then we get it in focus for you. How's that look, everybody? Hoping you get a real quality image over there. Interesting how the... So, as we can see over here, got a little bit of corrosion on that chip that powers the chip. This is the chip over here that powers the chip that speaks to the charger. So U6900 is going to allow adapter sense from the charger to speak to the something inside the machine that I forget at the moment, as I don't feel very well. And this is the thingy that is corroded, U6901, right over there. But I don't think that that's going to be what's causing our short circuit. Because our short circuit is on PP3V42, and as can be seen over here, PP3V42 is not on the capacitor that's very corroded. Now, this over here could be short-circuited, but I've never actually had a case of that being short-circuited. Ever. Ever. Never, ever, ever. So I would be very surprised if that were the case on this machine. But there's a first time for everything. Just like there's probably a first time that I'm actually going to quit in the middle of a stream and go to sleep. Because oh boy, I feel quite shitty at the moment. Anyway, let's take a look over the rest of this board before we decide to GTFO. As you can see, also we have some nastiness in our ISL 6259 area. Look at that ISL 6259 area. Gross. But above all, the culprit on this board is typically right under this little piece of foam. There's usually a shorted cap under there, but I don't see it this time. All right. So there's likely two possibilities here. Actually, three. Okay. Now the other one is that a lot of what winds up going wrong with this is actually underneath this heatsink. So this heatsink over here, that's so beautiful. 75 millimeters, no digital zoom. Does this not look great, by the way? And for those on the recording who didn't see the stream, this is a new 135 millimeter Sony lens. So when I just zoom in on things in the desk like this, that's no digital zoom. That is pure, beautiful, lovely. Okay, I'm going to have to non-digital zoom. I am going to have to get a better mount for the camera, because now that it zooms more, you can more easily see how unstable that is. That sucks, but otherwise, looks pretty nice. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that deals with PP3V42 right in this area, but the thing is it's covered by the bar of the heatsink. So I have, if you are working on an 820-3115 or an 820-2936, one thing you should be aware of, especially if you have some short circuits, is that the fan is going to blow the junk like this. So liquid goes in, goes over there. B, PP3V42 is one of the rails required for the machine to turn on. And C, that this area over here is covered by the heatsink, so you won't actually be able to see the corrosion. But if you take the heatsink off, you will. So don't be lazy. If you're working on this board, don't be lazy. Take the heatsink off and take a look. And let's see if we have any corroded stuff in that area. Huh, interestingly enough, we don't. That's very uncommon. Usually right along here, the SMC BCACOK pull-up resistor is often corroded. Here we only have pubes. Okay, so our short circuit at this point is going to be one of two things. It's going to be something that's on PP3V42 underscore G3 hot. That's the rail that we had 0 ohms to ground on. It's either going to be U6901, because this is corroded, or our ISL 6259, which is down here. Now, my bet is on the ISL 6259. It does a lot more stuff. It has a lot more stuff going on. It has 16 volts going through it. It's dealing with creating power for the whole computer. Whereas that other thing is just some puny little logic gate. So if both of them are corroded and one of them has a violent short, what I mean is that it is sending everything from that rail to ground. If it's going to break in that type of violent way where the pathway breaks and it decides to send everything away, I'm going to assume that that type of failure would have occurred in the ISL 6259, not on the U6901, which is smaller. But let's see if I'm correct. So let's measure the short circuit. I got to get myself the better wall mount for this camera. This thing shakes like crazy, but still, really never ends with gear. Never ends. You get some upgrades, and then the upgrades you get show you how bad something else is, and then you get more upgrades, and B&H just takes more and more of your money. Anyway, it's 3.1 ohms. The first thing I'm going to remove is the ISL 6259, which look like this. And by the way, I would be interested if you guys can tell me what you think of the microscope quality of this versus the videos I've been doing for the past few months. I went back to the old head, cleaned everything up a little bit. And I think that the quality here is looking quite nice. So I'm going to say that it's this. I'm going to bet on this being it. So we are going to put some flux. And just remember, people like Paul Daniels help make streams like this possible. So you see when I do this? You see when I hit meter on? And when I hit meter on, that shows up right in the upper left corner of the screen so that you can actually see what it is I'm doing. That type of stuff did not come easy, because even though I paid about $170 for this multimeter, B&K ensured that it shipped with completely useless, buggy, awful software. However, the man himself, Paul Daniels, as you can see over here, he created this software for me. He also created Flex Board View. He worked on Open Board View, which is the free version for those of you who don't need all the special features. He has a YouTube channel where he goes over coding and all sorts of stuff like that. I highly suggest that you check out Paul Daniels. He is a top bloke. I'm starting to get the vocabulary from the Dingo Land right. He is a genuinely good person, and I highly suggest that you check out his work. He definitely deserves some recognition. There's something to be said for people that decide to help you for free now and then ask for the money afterwards. Here is my free open board view. If you want to pay me, then you can buy the other one, or you can just use it for free. Vimeo doesn't have any chat, somebody says. Shit, I forgot to turn it on. I suck. Let me try. Enable chat. My bad. Okay, I will learn how to do that better. Yeah, Paul has helped in many ways to make this stream just a little bit better. Okay, we're going to rip this off the board. And now we're going to check for the resistance to ground on PP3V42 underscore G3 hot. As can be seen, we're now up to 2.6 kiloohms, which is actually still fairly low for PP3V42. However, it's much higher than where we were before. So our short circuit is gone. Now remember, this is something that Camille taught me here, and he actually went to school for electrical engineering, and so electronics engineering and all that. So he is much more knowledgeable than I am on this stuff, and hopefully we'll be having him on stream more often soon. But if you have a circuit like this, and you have a short circuit on a line, often it's going to be the more complicated component that fails, not the simpler one. And congrats on the locations that have FiOS. I don't know if it has FiOS, and I honestly don't even know if we're going to be moving in yet. So they did one of these things that they do in New York where they agreed to a price, and then when we went to go talk about signing a lease, $1,000 was added onto it. It's not really the thing that the $1,000 is going to make or break me. It's just, you told us it was going to be this much, and now you're making it this much. No. So we'll see. Anyway, so the more complicated component is typically going to be the one that messes up. So we have a complicated buck converter that's powering the entire system, reading current sensing, talking to the SMC, creating PP bus G3 hot for everything in the computer, and then we have this stupid little logic gate. So if I were to guess which one was the broken one, it would most certainly be this over here. So now we are going to just touch that stuff up using my hot tweezers, and it's not, the new location, it's not bigger, but it's 2 spaces, not 1. So I'm going to have 3 stores at that point if I get that. I'll have this store plus 2 others. Yeah. We said about $6,500. We did not say 7,500. It's funny how 6,500 just turns into 7,500 just like that. Oh, gotta love New York. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It sounded too good to be true. It probably is. Like, you're actually gonna say a price and then stick to it. Lol. We'll see. We'll see. I shouldn't let my pessimism get the best of me. Remember somebody told me that a glass cannot be half empty. It can only be half full. You're not going to be dividing with zero. It's not. You can't do that. You can be. So a full, let's say, is something. So you can do 1 divided by 1 times 0.5, or 1 divided by 2, or 10 divided by 2, etc. But you can't do 0 divided by 2. That don't work. I mean, no, you can't do. You can't do half empty. It just doesn't work. So, since it is mathematically impossible to be a pessimist, I'm going to try to be an optimist. Don't want to break the rules of physics and mathematics just to be an asshole. But my hopes kind of went down there. So there's 2 stores over there. So I was thinking one would be, I don't know what to do with the second one, but one of them I was thinking of having it be the mail-in location. So that's where machines would be mailed to. So I wouldn't be sitting next to like 20 or 30 boxes every day. And I wouldn't have to deal with the FedEx guy constantly walking by my setup and hitting the end of my microscope while I'm working, stuff like that. There'd be space for things. Mikey would be able to ship in peace. And there'd be space for stock. You could see the stock without dealing with the basement. And Paul or Camille would be working over there at their own pace, no customers around. And then there'd be this store, which would have all of the walk-in repair, but it would have no mail-in, so I would be able to pay more attention to the people who actually walk in, because the people who walk in, I want to be able to impress them by offering service while you wait as often as I can. A lot of the times you can't, but it's really cool to be able to show somebody on the microscope exactly what's going on. If I can explain to somebody what's going on, I can show it to them in the microscope, I can show them the schematic. If they have questions about that type of stuff, that's going to win every time over some store a few blocks away that says, leave it and we'll get back to you in 2 days. But sometimes you have to say, leave it and we'll get back to you in a few days. Sometimes that's just, it's too complicated, and that's the case. But I don't want to always be saying that. I want to be able to minimize how often I say that so that I can really offer an experience that just kills what you're going to get at every other local store. And separating the mail-in from the walk-in, I think, would help that. But also separating it so we have tech that works on things that could potentially be fixed while somebody waits, and then putting it into the back office section for stuff that has to be fixed on a longer schedule. Or me being able to assign things so that people don't have to diagnose them before getting to work, before fixing them, will make things a little more efficient. So that's what the separate stores would be like. And then also checking, there would be no, go to the basement to check the stock, or, we got 100 quicks in today. No customers can walk in the store today. Yeah, all that stuff would be gone, which would be nice. And then there's the third store. So the third one, I'm thinking of just making that some sort of, maybe an Apple authorized service provider. I'll ask somebody if they have an Apple authorized certificate or some shit like that, and I'll do the repair. Everybody in that store will wear a blue shirt. They'll say, we'll call instead of calling the customers by their names, I'll just have an employee that calls them a small percentage. Hello, were you aware that you're part of a small percentage of people? Maybe we'll sell T-shirts out of it that say small percentage. I just broke that wire, didn't I? Shit. Was the lease first year get 1 month free and inflated lease? No, that's common. I forget the broker. Steve dealt with them. I don't remember the broker. But yeah, I know that thing. It's so that they can raise your rent again higher the next year. So when somebody says 1 free month, I usually tell them the GTFO, because that's not 1 free month. That's just, you're allowing yourself to screw me next year a little without getting in trouble legally. All right, so in the third store, would most likely be some sort of troll store. I figured if we're going to take this, I might as well take both, just because it's so hard to find space in New York City. And I have such little trust for the company that I rent from right now, just because, as I said in the video where I asked them about the space that was next door and potentially elongating my lease, and they ignored me and then talked to me about a space that was $27,000 and called it and said that they would consider it a courtesy. A courtesy, as a courtesy, because you have no heat and we ignored you for several weeks. As a courtesy for your basement flooding. As a courtesy, we'll offer you a space that's this much bigger for an extra $23,000. Fuck you. But yeah, just in case anything happens with the people who, the company that just bought the building that I'm in right now, I figured I should take both stores. But as things are right now, I don't know what I would do with that other store. The only thing I can imagine is having a troll store. Apple authorized service provider. Red pill, blue pill store. You know, the store on the left is the Apple authorized blue pill store. You know, you're holding it wrong. You're a small percentage. This product is designed perfectly. You're just not using it properly. Oh, you're just typing on the keyboard wrong? Oh, you have the FlexGate issue? You're probably opening and closing it wrong. And then on the next store, we'll actually show you the truth. So that will be the store that has a 90-inch screen in the window that goes to a microscope camera that Paul is working on. When you walk in, the walls will be painted with every single defect in every single Apple product that they tried to hide until there was large consumer outrage for the past 10 years. Like every single recall, we'll have them framed. We'll have the archive.orgs of them framed. We'll have just a bunch of MacBook Pro 2011. Well, what does it look like when it boots up with the shitty GPU? All of that stuff. We'll have that imagery. We'll have a mural outside of it. And when you come in, you'll just talk to somebody who actually tells you what's really wrong with it. And maybe that person will give the same type of customer service that you'd get at Dick's Last Resort. Because let's face it, the customer service you get from here, I have no idea how the F we're 4.5 stars on Yelp. But this store is one step away from Dick's Last Resort. I may have high expectations of the service we offer, but the customer service, yeah, it's very Dick's Last Resort. We could call the store Sheep's Last Resort as well. Like you've been to the Apple Store, Genius Bar, you went to the authorized repair place who told you $1,200. Have you considered buying a new one? So maybe we would call the left store, we'd have be the Blue Pill authorized facility, and then the right store would be Sheep's Last Resort. I'd have to hope that I don't get sued by Dick's Last Resort though for taking the name, but I kind of like that. Dick's Last. Yeah. So I'd have to come up with a name for the one on the left, the Blue Pill store. And I'd also have to find somebody who is willing to allow me to do repairs under their Apple ID or whatever, or use their system, and so that I could claim that the place was Apple authorized, or I'd have to find an Apple authorized technician, get somebody who actually has an Apple authorized store location, log in using their software and all that stuff, and then I would offer everybody who walked into that store a genuine Apple authorized solution to their problem. Yeah, and so I have to come up with a name for the Blue Pill store. But I'm thinking Sheep's Last Resort for the Red Pill store. Paul's a very nice guy, but he definitely offers a Dick's Last Resort level of customer service when he is done, just when he's dealing with somebody who's not, how do I put this? Not trusting or not appreciative or... Like, I have it in me to understand when somebody is being a jackass and, be nice, and if they're taking something out on me. If somebody starts taking out their frustrations on Paul, he just starts giving them the customer service you would expect from a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. God bless the people who are brave enough to serve in the Marines, who go through that training and everything, and I have met several of them. They're amazing people, but... God, they're not what you would call a call center customer service personality. Let's just say that. Let's see. Paul doesn't suffer fools lightly. Yeah, I don't think any Marine does, honestly. It's not a bad quality. It's just there's a little bit of, if you work in retail customer service, you got to do just a little bit of fellatio every now and then just a little bit of, when somebody starts saying, I can't believe it's going to take 10 or 20 minutes when your website said 5 to 10 minutes. How dare it take longer just because there's a big line of people? Like, yeah, I understand. Our apologies. We do have a little bit more work today than usual. But I'd be happy to help you with all that. And, yeah, there's a candy up here. If you want to take a seat, you can do that. You know, being in retail just means you got to take it in the ass every now and then. It sucks. That is not something that Paul can do. I can't say I blame him. Yeah. Yeah, I got to come up with a name for both of these facilities. Okay, let's see what we get here. Where can I get ISO 659s? Hi, if you need an ISO 659 to replace this one, you can find it on store.rossmanGroup.com. Don't delay. Buy today. Buying ISO 659s on store.rossmanGroup.com will help me feel slightly less stupid at the fact that I spent about $1,000 to $2,000 on all this random stuff so that my stream could look 5% better. If you go to store.rossmanGroup.com, you will find ISL 659s at everyday low prices. Same-day shipping from New York City. Free shipping if you buy $30 or more within the continental United States. Don't delay. Give Lewis money by buying chips so that I could spend more money with B&H Photo and Video today. You know, Paul's not a good influence with that either. Paul is he is a terrible influence when it comes to that. Because I'll say, you know, I don't need this, I want it. And then he'll look at me and he'll go, no, you need it. And I'll be looking at some 4K 60 frame per second camera, some $2,000 or $3,000 lighting setup and diffusers and everything, and I'll go, I don't really need this. I mean, people are still able to learn. He's, no, you need it. No, you need it. I said, Paul, that's how you wound up with a goddamn $7,000 camera. And he goes, no, I needed this. And I go, no, you wanted it. Mofo. Don't give me that disease. No, that is a disease. It needs to be addressed and treated as such. Okay. Now I'm going to touch up this area over here where our little logic gate is. Oh, that's totally broken off. Look at this. That pin is wobbled off of the... Wow. Yeah, that pin was broken off of that, so I should have... That has to go too. Yeah, see the pin on the right? I can't believe I'm at the point where I'm actually humoring spending $3,000 a month extra for no other reason than to have a tourist attraction that trolls the Apple Store. Because I think having the two stores next to each other and the fact that this showed up at this time, it's kind of a calling. Uh-oh. That trace just... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are those two the same thing? If they are, I don't have to care about them being a little off. Let's see. You're SMCBC. Okay, you're both SMCBC AC. Okay, so I can chop that up a little bit. That's no big deal. I'll just put a wire there. No biggie. Who wants to watch Lewis do water cooling live tomorrow? Yeah, Hi and Mikey are going to be putting together the water cooling setup to replace that garbage Enermax that I have in my computer tomorrow. If I do wind up taking the space, this is going to be... I really do have to make it into a tourist attraction. But I need it. I need more space. And this accomplishes several other things. So it's more space, which is great, but it's also an insurance policy against more crap happening with this building. Okay, that flowed into place very nicely. Stream water cooling setup from ThinkPad. Maybe. Boarding FiOS plays games where only certain units and buildings can have it. Even as a landlord for my own buildings, I can't get ground service. That's fine. What I do, it's very simple. Let me show you how you handle that. What you do is you call and you say, "Hi, I'm in apartment 4," even though there's no ground service. Then the guy shows up. Then you give the guy $500 and you say, "Can you install FiOS over here? I'm not up there. I'm down here. So you want $500? And if he wants the $500, then he'll give me my gigabit FiOS. And if he does not want the $500, then he'll go back to where he was before. But if there's an opportunity to get FiOS, even if I have to do a little bit of scamming, I mean, after paying $450 a month for internet for 3 to 4 years, that went up to $480. After paying this much money and getting the garbage that I have, and also seeing the sweetheart deals that Verizon got with the city that they never finished or followed through on the way they said they would, I have no moral qualms about doing that. Zero whatsoever. I forget the exact year by which all the people in certain areas were supposed to have FiOS. I forget the exact year what was agreed to. But what I do know is that Verizon did not live up to it at all. In my current space, the best I can get was 3 megabit down, 0.7 megabit up DSL, but the icing on the cake is that it has not even worked for the past 6 months since there was a fire, and they said, yeah, we're going to send somebody to fix it. Give us 2 weeks. It's been like 5 or 6 months. Can you guys guess whether or not I get a light on my Verizon modem when I plug it in? Yeah. Yeah, and I'm willing to pay the FiOS bill. Whatever they say I have to pay on the paper, I'll pay it. If they say I have to pay $400 a month for FiOS internet, I'll pay it. Because I got FiOS at home, and it's amazing. It's awesome. But you're not pulling some shit on me where it's, oh, you can only get FiOS in apartment 3, not apartment 1. No, fuck that. Run the goddamn wire. I don't care if you have to mount this shit outside the building. I don't care if I have to cover the entire setup in conformal coating. I don't care if I have to cover the whole fucking modem in conformal coating that's sold on store.rossmangroup.com just so that it doesn't get water in it while it's outside. I don't care. I'm doing it. I'm getting my FiOS. Because having the internet that I've used for the past several years, at some point I was paying about $200 a month after taxes for a 3 megabit per second upload connection. After, I was paying $480 a month for a 20 megabit upload connection that actually oftentimes was only giving me 3 to 5, and the 3 megabit connection that often was only giving me 1 to 2. Then you deal with the fact that Verizon has not done even remotely what it is they said they would do for the city, and that I'm still stuck paying almost $100 a month for 0.7 megabit up DSL, nah. Nah. If a little twisting of the truth is required to get myself files, my conscience is clean, man. Absolutely. I'm not going to cheat to not pay a bill. Let's be clear here. I'm not going to try to get free service or tell them, hey, can you wire me some way so that I'm not getting billed? I'll pay. Even if Verizon wants $500 a month for files, I will pay their asking rate. But there's no way in hell we're doing this. Oh, yeah, you live on this block. You live in this part of the building, so you don't get files. No, fuck that. No. Not happening. I did all that work to get the resistor, and then it dropped off the board. God damn it. Where? Whoops. Let's see what we get. Turn on the Paul Daniels multimeter software. Interesting. 17 volts is coming into the machine. 3.42 is not coming out. Let's see what our resistance to ground is on our PP3V42. It's high. So now we're going to try and figure out why it is PP3V42 is not coming on. So that is a somewhat corroded resistor, but I don't know if that's going to be quite the cause of the issue. Take a look on the other side. If you have a legacy Time Warner plan, Spectrum will keep hiking the price on that. See if getting a standalone Spectrum internet plan will save you a couple of $100. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so this is my PP3V42 regulator over here. So there's a couple of things that you may notice. The first thing is that if I zoom out a little, that the resistor that's feeding power to it is a solder ball by it. And the second is that we have a pin over here that looks like green. That pin looks like the inside of my immune system right now. Not very nice. So thank you for the $10, Sean Smith. It's more than I deserve. Hopefully that's a nice clean image you got there. My hot swap bay in the front of my computer is not working. Strange. I need to copy this in the last stream I did home so I can edit it and upload it to main channel. Where did these little USB-C things go? I have to fix that tomorrow when I add water cooling to this machine again. We also got a solder ball on the left side. You take a look over here. What's this? Not very nice. So there's quite a bit of violence that happened over here. So the ISL 6259 short probably did not do my PP3V42 circuit any good. So let's look up what this is here that's nasty and hopefully fix this so that I can get out of here and go home. So you have U6990. Yeah, U6990 is here. Now this is going to take the voltage from either the battery, 12 volts, PP bus G3 hot, PP bus is not 18 volts, the Apple engineer who wrote the schematic is simply an idiot, or PP 18V5 from the MagSafe, the actual 18 volts. There's a diode over here that's going to make sure that if you plug in 18 volts, since these two inputs are tied together, that this doesn't just go right back into your battery and blow it up. This is the input to the chip, and then out of the chip is going to come 3.42 volts. This is a buck converter, and it's going to be doing its switching over here. Now the pin that looks nasty is going to be this one. So I'm interested in seeing what this is for, because that's the nastiest pin. That is the input pin. So let's see if voltage is going through to that. Let's see where does our voltage stop? Okay. So we're going to turn the meter back on. San says, I hate removing swollen gluten batteries. You and I both, my friend. You and I both. I have no love for the gluten batteries. I have zero love for the gluten batteries. Please don't bike home tonight. I will be biking home at 19.9 miles an hour. I actually blew up my other motor controller again. I got oil in my head. Great. I blew up my other motor controller, so I am stuck back at 30 amps. I didn't feel like fixing it. I didn't want to depot it because it was a pain in the ass. So until I get my new controller, I got one that's actually made for 60 amps, and it can go up to 90 volts. I'm so excited. I can only ride home at 30 amps, which is disgusting. All right, so we're supposed to be getting 18 volts from the charger on one of these. 17. Diode is doing its thing. And this is the input pin. Now, we also want to see if the chip is being told to turn on. So let's go over to the schematic. Now the enable pin is pin 4. Pin 4 is up here. So this chip is, let's see, it's getting its input voltage, and it's being told to turn on. Crap, I left a scratch on the board. I guess I might as well autograph it while I'm here. So we are going to replace that chip with a replacement that you can buy on store.rossmangroup.com. Fuck Apple. If you need to buy a U6990 chip, look no further than store.rossmangroup.com. I type in U6990, and without even hitting enter, it auto-completes. There's 3 different chips. Which is the one for my machine? How do I know which one to buy? Well, unlike many of those websites that are done by generic e-commerce companies, where you don't have any idea what anything works with, they just list you a bunch of crap and you got to figure it out yourself. My website, which is done by an actual board repair technician, tells you exactly which one you need. It tells you the compatible board for your chip. And not only does it tell you that this U6990 is this specific chip, or U6990, this is this U6990 for the older one, it tells you over here compatible boards, A202915, A202914, A203115. So you'll know exactly which board it's for. Or you could simply go ICs and components, chips by device, MacBook. You go old MacBook 13-inch, this is a 2012 model, you click here, and it will give you a list of the parts that are guaranteed compatible with your MacBook or your money back. Look at that. Look at that. Money back guarantee if we send you the wrong one. As low as $4.79 if you buy 5 of them. Don't effing delay, folks. Don't effer delay. All right, so we're going to replace that chip with another one from store.rossmangroup.com. I'm confident that since this chip came from store.rossmangroup.com, we're only going to have to change it once. Because there's no such thing as bad chips from store.rossmangroup.com. We advertise there's no such thing as bad chips from store.rossmangroup.com. That may be false. Results you see on screen may not match your own. Let's... Now this is going to be tricky because this is right near the RAM slot. So why am I replacing the chip? We checked there's no short to ground. No short to ground. The input voltage is there. The input voltage is there. The chip is being told to turn on its enable pin. The chip is being told to turn on its enable pin. That means bad chip. Now if you want to know where I got that checklist from, there is a link in the description down below for every time of day when you go live. Thank you so much, Clorox Bleach. Appreciate that. If you're curious, I do have a link in the description down below that it's a guide. It's about this 170-page guide on how to do board repair starting from the basic stuff to the more advanced stuff. And if you read that guide, I tell you that Here is what you do if the chip is not working. Here is what you do if a power rail is not turning on. Here is the checklist that you should go through before you just replace things willy-nilly or take your thermal cam out or do any of that. I include a nice little checklist in there that you go through. The guide is available for free. Link in the description down below, and I hope it helps you learn something. Now, the other sign that that chip was also a bad chip, as you can see, is the fact that it's leaving pins behind, just like that U6901 chip. And remember, you need to buy chips from store.rossmangroup.com, because if you don't buy chips from store.rossmangroup.com, and Lewis continues his B&H addiction, I will go bankrupt. That is a serious condition. Because I'm like thinking now, should I just have this lens for myself, or when Steve does data recovery, should I have a sexy lens on his as well? It's like, I know I'm going to go back to B&H. Much money will be spent. We plead with you. Please buy your PM6640s from store.rossmangroup.com. Please! Please! I need to feed my B&H addiction. Okay, so now we are going to get some solder on those pads, rip off that nasty pin. Also, do keep in mind that revenue from store.rossmangroup.com goes to HAKKO as well. HAKKO, after 2 years of being a moderator, has now been hired as a stream assistant. A job that I wish I could get when I was 18 years old like him. When I was his age, I was wearing a polyester jersey in an unair-conditioned building with an aluminum roofing in the middle of summer, putting price tags on basketballs or building furniture for a shitty store in the Staten Island Mall for $9 an hour. We're offering real jobs here. Amazing jobs. Hi is our meme manager. What are you doing fixing boards this late? It's 10:42. This is not late. Are you crazy? The night's just getting started, my friends. Okay, that chip is soldered on there. Got our autograph on the board. It's not the neatest handwriting since not feeling fully myself today. Can plugging an iPad into a USB-C connector like my laptop or docking station instead of the wall wart that came with it for charging hurt it? It depends on how shitty your docking station is. Laptop, it shouldn't, but if you put it into a shitty docking station, it may. This customer requested that I sign their board. So unfortunately, I can't autograph it as nicely as I'd like to, since I'm feeling a little sick today. But I want to make sure that their board leaves with an inscription on it that says "fuck Apple." They are paying for a repair, and they did request in the intake form that we sign the board "fuck Apple." And I can't possibly rob somebody of that request. So let's. I take customer service very seriously here. Very seriously. If somebody asks me to sign their board, "fuck Apple," I will stay until 10:46 on a Friday night while sick to ensure that their board has an authentic "fuck Apple" signature. Okay, plug this in. See if we get a light on the charger. Oh, yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to have to get myself a MagSafe 1. Let's see if I have PP3V42 at least. Do I have 18 volts? Do I have 3? God, you bastard. Interesting. Check this out. 0.2 volts on the other side of that resistor. What are you for? Damn, this case just keeps getting curiouser and curiouser. Curiouser and curiouser. I remember that from Batman versus was it Superman animated series or Batman animated series? Batman was away for a few months. Superman was pretending to be Batman until they found Batman. And Batman was kicking the crap out of Bane. I really enjoy watching your stuff, thank you. And I remember the Mad Hatter looked at him and said, "Curiouser and curiouser," before he got his ass kicked by Superman dressed as Batman. All right, so this here is a 1 million ohm resistor. This 1 million ohm resistor is going to sit between PP3V42 and the TON pin. TON stands for time on. So what it wants to do is this chip is going to be switching. It's going to give you a pulse of 18, then 0. Pulse of 18, then 0. Or if it's running off the battery, pulse of 12 and then 0. Pulse of 12 and then 0. It's going to average out those pulses to 3.4. Now, obviously, you need more pulses of 12, and then you do pulses of 18 if your goal is to get to 3. So just to give you an idea, if you have 18 volts, 0 volts, 18 volts, 0 volts, you have 9. If you have 18 volts, 0 volts, 0 volts, 18 volts, 0 volts, 0 volts, I think then you get 6, and so on and so on. So it needs to know how much time it's going to spend on, because this chip can make that power rail whether it's getting an input of 12 volts or 18 volts. So that's the pin that's going to get the amount of voltage to tell it, how much switching should I do. And if that's broken, it's not going to switch at all. Now that's a 1 million ohm resistor, even though that's a lot of ohms. That's a hell of a lot of ohms. That should still be 15 or 16 volts or something on the other end, and it's not. So we're going to replace that time on resistor. Thank you, Clorox. You don't need money. You don't have to. Don't give me your money. I make money already. If you watched a video and you fixed something and you made a few $1,000 and you want to say thank you for showing me how to make a few $1,000, by all means, then I'll take your money. And if you're broke, there's no need to donate. Now, one thing you may see before I put the flux on is that on the end, you see how that resistor is. You can see white stuff. There's white stuff coming out of it. And you don't want to have white stuff coming out of it before you're done with the job. So there's white stuff instead of metal. So over here, take a look at this resistor or the capacitor. This resistor, nice metal end. This capacitor, nice metal end. Metal end. Over here, you've got this white plastic-looking stuff. I mean, it's not plastic, but you get the idea. It looks like plastic, not metal. And that's how you know that something went wrong there. So that resistor is most likely dead. So we are going to rip that resistor off of the board. And damn, that pad on the board looks really nasty. We're going to do a lot of scraping of that pad. That was a little bit too much scraping of that pad. The whoops. Oh well. Okay, so making that pad look perfect is that's a stupid thing to do. I may just want to attach it directly to the trace instead. Let's make sure that there's a nice connection between the trace and the pad all the way through. Good enough for rock and roll. Looks beautiful to me.
Get the fuck out of my store. Get the fuck out of my store.
Okay, now we're using 200 milliamps but not turning on. We talked to Spectrum Enterprise rep to see what rates you get on a dedicated fiber line. Would be 300 a month for 25. No, because getting a Spectrum rep means waiting. Every time I've called, I wait on hold for minimum an hour. A few days ago, I was able to wait on hold for about 35 minutes, but that was somewhere around 35 minutes, but that was a record for me. That never happens. All right, so it was taking 200 milliamps for a second, then not turning on. Now, one thing I'm interested in is, let me just see what happens with a MagSafe, proper MagSafe 1. I'm putting way too much time onto a 6.5-year-old board. But I will try it, Josh. Maybe I'll have Hi do that. Friday. God, I need to get that out of my head. It is an utterly poisonous thing to have in one's head. Is Lewis anti-vaccination? I'm not anti-vaccination. Especially if you go to countries where they see toilets as optional. I mean, if you're in America and you lived your whole life in America, it's one. I can understand how somebody may at least have some sort of anti-vaccine conspiracy-ness within them, but when you start to go to other countries and see just how fucked they are when they don't get vaccinations, you'll realize being anti-vax is not the best thing. What I'm against is, let's say there is a vaccine that comes out, and the vaccine comes out and there are much higher rates of certain things happening with a certain vaccine. somebody that nobody talks about it. You can't talk about it at all. You're not allowed to bring it up. The people who are going to be doing the tests are typically individuals who get whose incentive it is, who are directly incentivized to say that there's nothing wrong with the vaccine. Dr. John Bergman does some really interesting talks about this on YouTube. I would check out Dr. John Bergman. I'm definitely not anti-vaccine. I am vaccinated myself, and when I have children, I will have them vaccinated as well. Yeah, I'm vaccinated. My kids are going to be vaccinated. My grandkids will be vaccinated. At the same time, if there is a specific issue, I do take issue with how the safety or efficacy of a vaccine is tested for certain vaccines in the current climate. And John Bergman has some interesting talks about it. Now, whether or not you agree with him or disagree, that's on you. Go for it. I don't have a dog in that race. He just knows far more about it than I do. So it's at least a starting point. You know, he at least will give you something to research. I don't even know enough to give you something to research. All right, so let's see what happens here. Do we get fan spin? We get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let's see. PP bus is 3 volts. 3.42 volts is present, but we don't get a light on the charger. What? That's insanity. Insanity. Sean Hannity. Okay, 3 volts on PP bus. And no light. Okay. This is strange. Let's see. Is SMC BC OK present? SMC BC OK is present. Let's see if adapter sense is present. Our adapter sense is going to be up here. This is the signal coming from the charger. And then we also have this one wire. So let's see, pin 5 and pin 4. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, you don't have to agree with everything the guy says, but it's always good to listen to something and be a little informed. 2.9, going to the SMC is 2.9. So all the conditions are set that we should have a light. And check it out, we actually do have a light. Look at that. The light just turned on for a moment, but then it turned itself off. Why is this charger giving me not enough voltage? So let's take a look back at our good old ISO 6259. Some of the things I'm going to be interested in here are, let's check our current sensing circuit. Now between pins 27 and 28 and 17 and 18, over here I should be getting 2 ohms, very good. And up here I should be getting 20, very good. This resistor over here should be 20 ohms, very good. Okay. So that means this board is going to suck. Let's clean up some of what's in that area. Someone to this board needs to be vaccinated. Sure does. Yeah, I haven't had a shot in a while, but I don't get sick because of not having shots or even the diet, because a lot of people will say, yeah, hey, dude, diet. What I get sick from is, I go out and I ride my bike when it's 10 degrees and I forgot to check the weather, or I did not have a jacket on, or I don't sleep for 2 or 3 days straight because I'm really busy with something that I want to solve, or I have something very stressful happen and I wind up staying up too late, or I go on withdrawal from a medication that I shouldn't have been on to begin with because it didn't do the shit that it was advertised to. Stuff like that. The flu shot's not going to help with that shit. Okay, so let's see if we get any different result now. Plug in my charger. Alright, my ISL was simply not started on fully properly. As you can see now, we get a fan spin. Ahem, fan spin. And let's take a look and see if our PP bus is 12.5, which is what I'm looking for. You don't want any of that 12.2 rubbish. By the way, I don't know if you guys caught that, but I turned on Paul Daniels' software. I went to the Stream Deck. So my hand went to the Stream Deck to turn it on,